after the full fruition of all your good efforts in 2 weeks of training, you have managed to keep the 8 precepts for 1 week, done all the rehearsals to be the novice, actually made it through to be the novice for a whole 7 days. And during the time of being the novice, you have actually done quite a lot of activities to give back a lot to society, to give back to the temple. You gave the talks on YouTube, etc., etc., a lot of different things. I think you have made a lot of people proud. But because of the laws of the land, you lot have to go back to school at the beginning of September. So generally to go back, even if you want to be a novice, to go back to school would not be that convenient. So generally the best thing we can hope, even if you like the life that you led during the time you were a novice, is that you should try to come back to be the novice again whenever you have the opportunity during the vacation time. But how can we prepare ourselves when we leave behind our robes, go back to our normal lives? We have a lot of new knowledge, we have a lot of new good habits, I hope, which we hopefully can apply in our lives, even though we go back to our normal lives with our homes and our family, to make our life more productive, to be the better person, to be a good example to others. Have you thought about this at all? Maybe you have to keep the 5 precepts from now on instead of 8 precepts or 10 precepts, but there's still a lot of things you can do to keep your goodness going. Part of that goodness is your meditation, because if you just stop meditating when you stop being a novice, then all the good things which you managed to achieve, it will all disappear. Because you need to maintain it. It's almost like looking after a pet. You need to keep it fed and watered, otherwise it will not thrive. And with your meditation, you need to keep the meditation going in order that it will continue to progress and grow with you. Yeah? When the Lord Buddha was alive, he said that he considered himself to have 3 duties. One of the duties, it is towards himself. Called it atta. For 3 duties. 3 duties. First one, duty towards himself, he called it atta payot. Second one, he said, is a duty towards his family, which he called yata payot. But the third one is his duty towards Buddhism as a whole. So he has 3 things. Even the Buddha, he has got 3 duties. One to himself, one to his family, and one to all of Buddhism. And in the same way, even though you go home to your families and to your normal studies and home lives, you can say also, like the Buddha, you got 3 duties which you should try to fulfill. First one is to maintain your own goodness. So, atta payot, okay? Duty towards yourself. How can you do that? Well, firstly, like I said, try to meditate every day if you can, at least 20 minutes if you can. Maybe just before you go to bed to keep your meditation going. Also, you should try to keep 5 precepts, never break 5 precepts. If you have the opportunity, keep 8 precepts, maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week. Yeah, if you like to, you can do that. Some people keep it on the full moon days, new moon days, or maybe on the day of the week you are born. Yeah, that is what Buddhist people do. But at least 5 precepts are what I would ask for. In the moment you will get the 5 precepts. Also, you should avoid the 6 roads to ruin, which I mentioned. Things like gambling and smoking and drugs especially. You think they are problems which other people have, but in fact they are sometimes closer than you think. So you must be very careful. I know one novice from here, he finished being the novice, he became like a drug addict. So beware. Yeah, no one is safe. And also you should try to do as many good deeds as you can. If you have the opportunity to do generosity, you should do that. Meditate. How can you practice generosity? Generally, we like to encourage everyone to come to a temple when they can. Some of you are quite close by, some are further away. Come when you can. Usually, if you can come on the first Sunday of the month, that is a very big merit. And also, as you notice, many of the things in the temple, which the work and the task done, they rely on the volunteers. So if you have a chance to come to be the volunteer in the weekend or that sort of thing, you're always very welcome. You know where everything is in the temple now, so you can help a lot and get merits. So this one, first duty to yourself. Second one, duty to family. So how can you encourage your family? Sometimes you have more understanding of the deep Dharma now, yeah? Deep Dharma. 31 realms, 6 roads to ruin, 456 levels of hell, plus 1. 6 levels of heaven, 16 levels of Brahma realms, and 4 levels of formless Brahma realms. 4 human realms. So you got a lot of knowledge, So while you have all the time to study Dhamma, sometimes your family has to work very hard. They don't have the appreciation of how valuable all of these things are. So if you have the chance to share your knowledge with your family, encourage your family to meditate, to practice, to come to the temple, this is a good way to give back something from your time as a novice. Encourage your family. It's a way to repay the debt of gratitude to your parents especially. So number 1, to yourself. Number 2, to your family. Number 3, to Buddhism as a whole. Some people think Buddhism is so great, it will always be here, right? Actually, it depends. It depends on the people. Depends on the people of every generation who knows about Buddhism and understand Buddhism to be able to explain it to their younger ones. And if any generation no one is around to teach Buddhism anymore, it will soon disappear. Well, he's already gone, He's gone to Nirvana already. He left behind what he knew, but if we don't remember it, it's going to disappear. And even if you remember it, but even you got to die someday, so also will disappear. So what is left is that we must try to learn what we can, share what we can with others. Otherwise, Buddhism cannot continue to live. You know what is the real meaning of Dhammadayada? Sometimes they call it the heir of the Dharma. It means the one who inherits the Dharma. It means the one who you take the Dharma, the knowledge from all the monks who are here, and you take it to your generation, and you are the ones who are going to be the main front guy for Buddhism in the next generation. Big responsibility, Because who is going to know more about Buddhism than someone who's been a novice, Not someone a professor in the university for sure. Has to be the one who practices it. So actually, you have a big burden of responsibility because now you are the placeholder for Buddhism for the next generation. And if you fail, Buddhism also fails. Oh, big responsibility. So this is why they call Dhammadayada. And most of you think, very tiring to be a novice, have to get up early, don't get to eat the food when we want it, we cannot play, very hard work. But actually even harder work is the monks who must look after you, no rest for 2 weeks, All the people cooking all day and all night, no rest for them either. they really have to do a lot so that you can be a novice. And you ask, why do they want to do that? Because you are the hope for the future of Buddhism. Very big responsibility. So, you also have a duty to Buddhism to be the good Buddhist for the future, so that Buddhism doesn't disappear. Because like I'm already getting old, I don't know how many more years I can continue to do this. Your parents are old, monks are old, Luang Pu already dead, Buddha went to Nirvana already. Who is left? You lot, You lot are the future of Buddhism. A very scary prospect. So you must be the worthy recipient of the Buddhism for the future. To try to understand what you can, try to share what you can with your friends. And what I hope is that if you have the opportunity, is that every year with the temple, as long as we don't have COVID or something terrible happen again, we will try to organize the novice ordination every year so that you can come back. Next time round, you can spend more time meditating, more time learning the Dhamma, less time worrying about how to stop your ropes from falling off, this sort of thing. You get to learn more and more as you can. So I will encourage you to do that. So in conclusion, as you go back to your home lives, it is the ending of the novice project, but it's also the beginning of your chance to apply what you learned when you were the novice to the normal life and the real world and all the challenges which you have in the life. I tell you a little story just to finish off with about our teacher, Dhammakaya. And really he wanted to be a monk from a very early age. Before he was 18 years old, he knew the nun Kunyai. Already he wanted to be a monk. But Kunyai, she knew that anyone who's not got the good education, even if they got all the knowledge in the world, no one will listen to them. Why? Because they think, oh, you never went to school. Why should I listen to you? So what did Kunyai tell to Dhammakaya? He told him, hang on a minute, you got all the time in the world, you finish your studies first. So even though he wanted to be a monk, he had to finish his studies to bachelor's degree level. In fact, he got bachelor's degree in economics. Very useful for the temple, it turns out. And immediately he got his graduation certificate. What did he do? Then Kunyai allowed him to become the monk. But because he got the good university degree, he's now got a good reputation and many educated people will listen to him. So although you may be sad not to be the novice, or maybe some of you are not too sad not to be the novice, the ones who are sad, if you follow the example of Dhammakaya, think to yourself that your duty right now is to focus on to get to as high as you can in your studies. And everything you learn, even in the worldly way, it can be something which is useful for Buddhism in the future too. So choose as well as you can, choose something practical, choose something useful to the world. And when you have that graduation, if then you choose to become the monk, you will be a very valuable monk for the world. Yeah. So please don't neglect your studies. This is what you should focus on at the moment to be in the forefront of your class and to be a good example of the student for now. Yes? So I wish you well as you leave the novices, but we hope I get to see you again very soon with short hair, long hair, we don't know, but especially in the summertime, we would like to welcome you back again to be the novice again. Sadhu. And I rejoice in all the merits which you cultivated and also gave us the opportunity to cultivate with you for 2 weeks.